Hey guys, and welcome back for another video. So today's video is not about anyone in particular but me. Some of you may have seen a few weeks ago I did a live expressing some things about my relationship, my marriage in particular, regretfully so, because it has left me in a mental state of turmoil, just to be kind of honest. And rather than you hear it from someone else's mouth, it's better if you just hear it straight from me. Where do I begin? Maybe about anywhere from 10 to 12 years ago, I started using a substance called marijuana. Initially, I smoked it. I would roll it inside of papers, blunts, whatever you want to call them, and I would smoke quite heavily. The reason I can only think that maybe it was because I was in the process of losing my mom. I lost my mom in 2016, so about almost 9 years ago now. So a few years before I actually lost her, the heavy smoking started because her health really declined at that point. And I think I knew that she was going to die, and there was a lot that went with it. And so in order to, I guess you can say, cope or just numb the pain, I smoked quite a bit of marijuana. And when I say quite a bit, I mean quite a bit. There would be some days where I would smoke, chain smoke, like sometimes 6-7 blunts a day. So basically staying high the entire day. Not a good place to be in. Not a good way to spend your time. Don't recommend it for anybody. There's really not a whole lot else to say other than, obviously, by smoking that much, I became addicted. And with addiction comes the other problems, like feelings of isolation, staying in the house all the time, not really socializing, having irritability, like really bad irritability. After my mom passed, the smoking did slow down. I wasn't coping anymore, but the addiction was already there. So did I stop entirely? No. By the time I became pregnant with my first child, I had to stop because I was pregnant and I didn't want to affect the fetus. So I got through it. Probably led to me having severe morning sickness, because sometimes when you stop smoking weed, it makes you have severe nausea anyway. And couple that with just being pregnant and dealing with morning sickness, I was a wreck. After I had her, I started smoking again. And I thought, oh, I'm only doing it, in the morning or at the end of the day, so it's not really a problem. But anytime that you need something in order to start your day or finish it, and it's not food or water, it's a problem. So I can admit that now because I sit here not addicted to weed, because I don't use it every day anymore at all. And I don't want to. Now I kind of use it for special occasions, or like if, we're having fun, we're partying on the weekend, whatever type of deal. Not like an everyday thing. However, the reason I wanted to give you that background is to kind of show where the weed addiction came from. And I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying, people go through things and we all choose sometimes whatever we can. Some people drink, some people like to eat, some people use sex, some people use gambling to cope with life. I mean, I just personally chose marijuana. So anyway, as I've gotten older, I recognize that smoking is not the best thing for you. So I started to ingest marijuana via gummies. And so it would just be a thing that me and my husband would do it, every once in a while, not every day, when I wasn't pregnant, and, just a way for us to have fun. Unfortunately, when we went on this trip, I ended up getting some gummies. And in Thailand, I guess, their junk is way stronger than what I was used to. So it was like really, really affecting me. Couple that with the fact that I hate to even admit it, but I do believe with this last pregnancy, my pregnancy with Cloud, after I've had him, I do believe that I have been experiencing some level of postpartum depression. And how do I know that? Well, there's been a lot of mood swings. And when I say mood swings, I can be happy one minute, and then the next thing I'm irritated beyond measure. And I'm like yelling and just not being a nice person to be around. And I've even lashed out at my children. Not in like a physical way, but just verbally. And verbally sometimes can be just as bad as physical abuse. So I'm not going to sit there and act like I'm some kind of saint. Meanwhile, my husband has been in my corner telling me, about doing too much weed, or, how it affects me and how he doesn't really like it and how I'm talking to the children and things like that. And this is something that's been going on for a while. So I can honestly say that I can just say that I'm not the best person in the world. I'm kind of a crappy person sometimes. And I definitely don't want to be, and I don't mean to be. Sometimes you just get so wrapped up in whatever you're doing or whatever you're going through, and you just lose sight of others. But that's not how we should live our lives. And definitely not how a parent should live their life. Because I don't want things that I do to have lasting effects on my kids. Because it's just not a good deal. So when it seemed like, there was this thing between us and he did whatever he did when we were in Thailand, I'm not going to excuse his behavior or blame myself whatsoever. That's something that he's dealing with. That's something that he got going on in and of itself. But I'm not going to make him seem like he's just done so wrong and I've just been so perfect, because that's not the case. And the reason it's important for me to let it out like that is because I don't want someone else to do it for me. I have called my children names. I have cursed at them, and they're very young. So you can only imagine how stupid that is, because in reality, they don't even understand. They're all too young to even know. And for me to do that, like I said, it just makes me a crappy person. And for me to choose weed, in some ways over spending time with my family and stuff like that, or just being in a normal mental place with my family, also makes me kind of a crappy person. And sometimes I just made an excuse like, me popping a gummy, once in a while is not as bad as how it used to be. And I think that that's where the comparison and how I fooled myself into thinking that it was okay, because I'm like, well, I'm not smoking 7 blunts a day anymore, and so it must be fine. And it's like, no, if it's affecting you and your moods, if it's affecting your level of irritability and affecting how you treat people you love, it's a problem. I mean, people can suggest counseling, people can suggest praying, and definitely that is being tried. It's just one of those things where, is it enough? Or is it too late? Or am I just still in the middle of everything and I haven't done enough praying and I haven't done enough counseling to get past it? I do love my husband. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have married him. I wouldn't have had children by him. Part of me just feels like I've been fooled, because he always made himself out to be this person that just took such a high moral ground. You wait until I marry you and have children to break my heart. I would have rather you do that before the children came into the picture, because for some reason, men don't understand that when a woman gets pregnant with your child and then proceeds to give birth, they're essentially risking their life. And when I'm going so far as to risk my life for you to be happy, well, for us to be happy, because I chose the child and I want the child too, but it's something that you can't do for me. You can't carry a child and then give birth for me. I have to do it for us. And if I'm willing to do that, there should be just more loyalty in that situation. There should just be more understanding in that situation. I just don't understand why men always think the grass is so much greener on the other side. It's like, you think that you're going to find happiness somewhere else. How do you know the situation wouldn't be worse? How do you know they wouldn't gain even more weight or care even less about your feelings or treat your children even worse? And at the end of the day, you guys, all of that doesn't matter. I'm not even here to talk about anyone else but me right now. So let me just focus on me. In reality, the truth is, the only person that is 100% here all the time with me is me. And so I have to focus on me. I have to focus on what's best for me, my sanity, my health, my mental health, because someone else can hurt me. Someone else can break my heart. But I'm going to do what in my mind is the best for me. I got to work on myself. I have to recognize any addictions that I might have and work on them. I have to recognize my place in life, the fact that I have had 3 children in 4 years, and work on my body, work on exercising so I can feel the best that I want to feel, and I can be in the best place physically and with my health that I can be. Not for anyone else, but for me. So that I can be assured in the sense that, yes, your girl has had 3 kids, but I'm still looking good, okay? Because that's all we want at the end of the day. We want to be healthy, we want to look good, and we want a good life. And you can love somebody as much as you want to do, but are they ever really going to love you the same? I'm at this place in my life where I realize addictions, I realize bad decisions that I have made over the years. Could it be me and my issues driving them away? Could it be the fact that I just keep picking people who aren't the best character, just like I'm not the best character? Maybe I'm a crappy person and I keep attracting crappy people. Maybe that's truly what it is. And if that's the case, then I have got a lot of work to do on myself if I ever do truly want to be in a relationship. I have a lot of work to do on me. I have to change some things about me so that I can stop attracting negativity in my life. Because I'm all about the law of attraction. Like the law of attraction, some people don't want to believe that it's true, but it is. You are what you attract. And what you attract is what you are. 2 of the same things. So, if I want a good, honest, faithful person who lives their life right and is trustworthy, then I have to be that person too. I have got a lot of introspection going on right now. I jumped into a marriage and had 2 kids back to back. We've been married 2 years and we have 2 kids. That just goes to show you how fast I was moving. And I looked at it like, oh, well, I'm moving quickly because I'm in my 30s and I want to have my children while I'm still reasonably young. And, so I don't have any health issues or they don't have any health issues. And while that has been fine, the emotional stability and stuff like that hasn't been. I mean, or it could just be that maybe I'm blowing everything out of proportion. Maybe dealing with human beings, period, is going to be rocky. Because even in friendships, there are times where you're at each other's throats. Just dealing with people in general. I mean, there's times where even with your children and your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, you're not always getting along. You're not always having perfect relationships. Maybe just dealing with other human beings, period, is a risk. And when you take it and then things happen, you can do one of 2 things. You can let it break you or you can let it make you stronger. And I'm just a firm believer in, while I'm here on this earth, I might as well have the best time that I can. So I don't want this to break me. I can forgive, but I can't forget. Here I am, married with 3 children. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I got to figure it out. And so if I haven't been putting videos out, it's because that's why. There's just been too much on my mind in my own personal life to just even begin to dissect anyone else's, which is what I normally do on this channel. But yeah, I can't really talk about anyone else right now. Everybody feels some type of way after they have a kid, Even if your bounce back is amazing, you're still going to feel some type of way. But this time it's been escalated, and especially because of what my husband did. I want to let go and let God, like for real, because I feel like if I make any more decisions right now, it's not going to be good. So you won't be hearing from me on, the video tip for a while. If I come on here, it might just be to update you guys on what I'm dealing with, or maybe offering advice, because I do like to do that. Even in my own turmoil, I can still give other people advice. Like if I was to look at another person in my shoes, I would tell that person to try to work things out. I know that that's probably the right thing to do, simply because of everything that we've done. It's like building up a house and then tearing down one room in the house and then saying, oh, well, let's just give up the whole project. And it's like, well, you still have all the foundation there and you still have all these other rooms that are livable. You could always just work on rebuilding that, because we have built, some things together, and we've obviously had children together, and neither one of us wanted to do the single parent thing. But at the same time, you never know what someone's feeling in their heart. And sometimes when you hurt somebody, it's just not that easy for them to get over it. And so if you really, really care about the person, you'll work through it with them. If you don't, you won't. And so I have to ask myself, do I really love my husband? Do I really care about him? I don't know what good thing can erase something so bad. I mean, really, I don't know. But I do believe counseling is one thing. And I would recommend that to somebody. There was somebody who said that, like, if you don't know what to do in a situation, put yourself outside yourself and imagine as if you're your own friend and you're looking at the situation. What advice would you give your friend? And then that's the advice that you should take. Because if you really care about your friend, you're going to give them the best advice that you think that they need for their life. But sometimes if you just try to make the decision from your own point of view, your own selfish point of view, it's going to not be the right decision. Making decisions from a selfish point of view is never the right one. Obviously. I don't know what else to say, but I think I'm done for now. I'll be back soon.